If you're thin, you're healthy. If you're overweight, you're not. I think we have that wrong. After 7 years of watching doctors talk about how food impacts our bodies, I realized that body fat isn't the villain that we make it out to be. If you want to lose weight and keep it off, you need to know what your body's actually trying to accomplish. 7 years ago, I was 80 pounds heavier and still gaining. I learned 3 important things about fat that changed everything. Now I've been at my goal weight easily, and I want you to achieve the same thing, Wellness Warrior. That's why I'm putting my 25 years plus experience of working to help people improve their lives into this channel. I want you to get results. Full transparency. 7 years ago, the reason I was researching diet was because I learned I had an inflammation problem throughout my body. That was after 23 years of consulting doctors, and not one of them pointed that out. They sent me for physiotherapy and to go get chiropractic appointments, but not one person, not one doctor, pointed out that my issue was inflammation. So I learned about my inflammation because when I was searching on Google to try to understand what could be possibly causing the excruciating pain I was having in my hip, knowing that I hadn't fallen or done any kind of sports that could explain this excruciating pain, one of the possible explanations Google gave me was inflammation. So then I did some research and learned that sugar is one of the things that could cause inflammation. And since I was eating sugar, chocolate, one of my favorite things to have, among other things, cookies and ice cream and all the stuff, I assumed that that was my problem. I did a bit more research and learned that, no, it's not just the junk food. All the carbohydrates that I eat, so now we're talking about rice, potatoes, pasta, bread, also contribute to inflammation in our body. I was searching on the internet because I was trying to find what kind of diet could I possibly do that would keep my sugar low enough for my inflammation to go away, and I found the keto diet. This video is not about how to do keto. If you want to know how to do keto, I have a playlist that I'm linking somewhere that you can watch, and I will walk you through how to start keto. Watch it after this video. Today, I want to explain how my inability to gain weight ruined my youth. Yeah, like 23 years of my life ruined because I couldn't gain weight. Wellness Warrior. In the past 7 years, the one thing that I learned with certainty is that when you overeat carbohydrates, your body pulls the sugar out of your blood because it's toxic. Now, when it takes it out of your blood, it has to do something with it. If you're lucky, it puts it in fat storage. If you're not lucky, like me, it causes inflammation and damage to tissues where it is putting it, where it's storing it. And that is a bad story, especially if it's storing it in your heart or lungs or some other. It's a bad story. Your eyes. I didn't only have inflamed joints. I had rashes, migraines. I developed gout in my right foot all before the age of 28. I did physio throughout my 20s. I wasn't eating red meat or alcohol to explain the gout, but I had gout. When I found keto, I was skeptical because, first of all, reducing vegetation seemed crazy to me. Eating more fat also sounded backwards. It's the exact opposite of everything I had ever been told. And then I began to eat the diet. Why? Why did I do that? Even though everything seemed crazy and backwards. I did it because I wasn't actually living my life. I was in so much pain, limping around, not having a good time. And I really was so desperate. I just said, you know what? I'm going to try this diet, even though I don't think it makes any sense, even though I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to try it anyways. And Wellness Warrior, The one thing that I want you to hear with clarity is that within a month, I noticed more energy and mental clarity. I didn't believe that I was lacking either of those two things, but eating a healthy keto diet gave me energy and mental. I think for a living and can tell you that the speed with which I was answering clients' questions and how on target I was with the things that I was saying blew me away. And I was good before, but I was pulling things from, blew me away. My bodily pain resolved itself within 3 months. And within 5 months, I was back to healthy weight. My weight was completely regulated. As a matter of fact, I fell below the weight I was even aiming at and had to put weight back on. I've maintained my weight and I've been pain free for the past 7 years, Wellness Warrior. Here's why. Our bodies are meant to be in a ketogenic state.
You can take a newborn baby and the baby can breastfeed or bottle feed. And then within an hour, the baby is in a deeper state of ketosis than an adult would be after fasting for a full day. I mean, that baby will be at 2 millimolar ketones in an hour. And an adult, and for me, if I want to get to 2 million, I got to fast for like 36 hours to get to that point. And I mean, so if there's any natural state, kind of back to our conversation a moment ago, it is clearly that a natural state is a state of ketosis. We are such totally unique creatures where we are the only land-based mammals born obese and the only animal who has a brain that is larger than the birth canal, much to mother's chagrin. But that means we have these very big, hungry brains and all of this chubby, adorable baby fat that is just producing ketones like gangbusters to fuel the brain growth. And if you have a baby that is born premature and lacks sufficient adipose tissue, it is much more likely that they're going to develop neurological disorders.
Being in a ketogenic state is natural. Born that way, and most babies hold on to that fat right up until we feed them solid foods. You and I started our lives off in a ketogenic state, slightly chubby, but healthy. And then we either lost weight or gained. This was inevitable because we were eating the standard diet, right? So we don't stay chubby. To protect us, our body will also put those chemicals and seed oils in fat storage because we're eating a standard diet, right? We're eating bread, chemicals in it. We're eating crackers, chemicals in it. We're eating those baby foods, those powdered cereals and chemicals in them.
Most of human disease today come from the fact that we cannot find a natural balance between how much we eat and how much we expend. 90+%, all of the diseases of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, metabolic syndrome, it is all because we never take anything out. We're congesting the body.
On a standard diet, every day you are overeating carbohydrates and processed foods. I love that video from Dr. Ekberg because he helped me to understand that this constant food that's coming in, this processed garbage, contains harmful chemicals and seed oils that my body's constantly having to deal with. And in order to protect us, our body will put those toxins in fat storage if we're lucky, or somewhere else in our body if we're not. What I learned that totally changed my understanding about weight is that our body gaining weight is in response to toxins in our body, and it's basically our body's way to protect us. Our body can only protect us for so long, Wellness Warrior. Carrying an extra 10 or 20 pounds is not the same as becoming obese. I was 80 pounds overweight. I was carrying around 80 pounds. That's a small person. That was a sign that my body was not healthy. The joint pain, the migraines, the rashes, that had been there for years before I put on any weight, decades actually, were also a huge red flag that my doctors did not address, especially the skin issues. Every cell in your body is made from fat, but my dermatologist never asked me what type of fats I was eating. The type of fat you're eating matters so much. I want you to click here and I'm going to walk you through what you really need to know about the fats in your diet. Click on that link. I'm going to meet you over there.